Hello, everybody. Welcome to the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. Today's October 7. And I'll be bringing you the news of this week, starting Monday, October 3rd, through today, October 7 in the morning here on Friday. Um, and we are two short weeks away from the Litecoin Summit this year in Las Vegas, Nevada. Um, if you haven't gotten your tickets already, you can do it at Litecoin Summit .net, actually litecoin.net/summit. And they have an amazing lineup of speakers and events. And I wish I could go this year. I am a sponsor, and I'm looking forward to hearing great things. So if you haven't had your tickets yet, you didn't book a plane, hurry up and do so. Plus, you get to gamble a little bit if you want, or check out a show or whatever. But the Litecoin Summit is the premier event there, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So, with that, let's get into it. Let's get into today's news for this around the world. I bring you the news around the world in crypto and blockchain. And today we're going to talk about something that is first, we're going to start global. Okay. And we're going to say that Binance chain, BNB chain, has suspended their network following a $100 million cross chain bridge exploit. I noticed this last night on Twitter, but BNB chain is the blockchain of Binance, and it was paused on October 6th due to an exploit on its cross chain bridge, with attackers making $100 million off of crypto. The official Twitter account of BNB Chain first announced a temporary pause due to irregular activity, but soon after added that it was due to an exploit. Uh, Binance provided an update that the blockchain was under maintenance, suspending all deposits and withdrawals. Um, this is from BNB Chain. To confirm, we have suspended BSC after having determined a potential exploit. All systems are now contained, and we are immediately investigating the potential vulnerability. We know the community will assist and help freeze any transfers. All funds are safe. Um, this is something to track and to keep note of, and to continue to monitor. Um, yeah, that doesn't sound too good, but the other thing that I was really surprised last night, and this is also kind of breaking news, um, because I'm included in this list too. And actually, before we talk about that, we're going to talk about Celsius. We are. But the first thing I want to talk about before we do that is challenges of Web3. Okay. Um, Now, there was a study that came out, and this is on a global basis, so we're going to keep global. Security and interoperability are challenges ahead for Web3 mass adoption. By 2030, Web3 is expected to reach a market size of $81.5 billion, according to a research study done by Emergen Research. But the industry still has challenges to overcome, including security and interoperability, um, which in interoperability provides communication between the blockchains, aiming to offer a similar experience to users as Web 2, and hiding the complexity away and ensuring that people, you know, um, are powered and can trust the mobile apps that they use. So, um, trust is also an issue, but interoperability brings more to the content creators, and security is one of the challenges too. So, uh, we'll continue to see how Web3 plays out. I think it has a bright future. Um, I like the idea of content creators being in charge of their content. Um, and now we will get into um, what happened last night with Celsius. A court document reviews details about thousands of Celsius customers. So um, there was a document that was reported yesterday. It could be easily found on Strato. All right. This is publicly available information. Court documents have revealed data concerning thousands of its customers in the disclosure. What that includes is the person's name. The addresses are redacted, so you're not going to find somebody's address, but you're going to it shows the listing of all the cryptos that they own. So you can go in there and find anybody's name who's a customer and see what they held. And the document contains over 14,500 pages and amounts, types, descriptions, timing of transactions on the platform, along with the US dollar amounts and crypto names. And there's a general unease about that right now. And a lot of people who didn't want to be doxxed are doxxed. But this was ordered by the judge. So let us know your thoughts. And we'll see what happens going forward. But does that help? Does that make you trust centralized exchanges more or less? That's a question. So moving along, 670,000 follower ETH Classic accounts turn into Ergo. What happened? Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has repurposed the Ethereum Classic Twitter account to now benefit the Ergo platform. He has turned that account to a new community page for that crypto. The Ethereum Classic account had built up over 600,000 followers since its inception in July 2016. And up till September 15th, it was used to post about ETH Classic. Since the proof of work changeover to proof of stake by Ethereum, they are now changing it over to Ergo. So the executive director, Bob Somerville, director of a public charity supporting Ethereum Classic, pointed a finger at Hoskinson for repurposing the account, noting that you just can't take 6 years of community work and erase it just like that. But apparently that's what has happened, and something to keep an eye on, and we will continue to follow. If you're an Ethereum Classic holder, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about that? It seems like that was just a rug, right? So let's move on to some good news, right? Because this has all been kind of negative so far today, but let's look into some good news. And one good news is moving to Central and South America. Latin Grammy Awards signs a 3-year contract for award show NFTs. This year's 64th Latin Grammy Awards will have its first ever NFT collection after the Latin Recording Academy has signed a 3-year contract for award show related NFTs. The partnership is between the Latin Recording Academy, which is behind the Latin Grammys, and One Of, a Web3 music platform. Each collection will lead up to that year's award show and will include drops highlighting Latin music. That's going to be really cool. Looking forward to that. And I've never seen a Latin Grammys, but to have Latin Grammys and a music NFTs and have it leading up to the show is one more use case, wonderful use case for NFTs, music award NFTs. So now we're going to move into Europe. Talk a little bit about regulation. European Union regulators have banned cross-border payments from Russian crypto accounts. Okay. In a statement on October 6th, the European Union introduced another set of sanctions against Russia due to the prolonged and escalated conflict in Ukraine. The new sanctions include a complete ban on cross-border crypto payments between Russians and the EU. The statement includes the prohibition of all crypto asset wallets, accounts, or custody services, irrespective of the amount of the wallet. New sanctions were installed as a response to Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territory as the result of what EU calls a sham referendum along with troop mobilization and threats of nuclear escalation. Yeah, we don't need nuclear escalation at all. That's not good. Um, so they're in the right to do that. They've done it, and they've banned. Um, so sticking with the EU, this week also the EU Council has approved the MICA text, and the proposal has moved to Parliament for a vote. Representatives from a committee within the EU Council have moved forward with regulating digital assets in the EU through the Markets in Crypto MICA framework, sending the finalized text to Parliament. According to an information note on October 5th, the EU Council's Permanent Representatives Committee approved the MICA text and sent it to the chair of the European Parliament Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs. Okay. They would say they confirmed that the proposal would be enacted should the Parliament adopt its position at first reading. So we're going to see what's going on with that, and what are your thoughts on individual regions or countries trying to regulate something, and how are they going to actually execute it? We leave the EU. We go to Singapore, to Asia. Three Arrows capital, which declared bankruptcy this past summer too. Their NFT collection is to be liquidated. Uh, Teneo, the liquidation firm in charge of Three Arrows Capital bankruptcy, confirmed on October 5th that it has custody of the NFTs moved from the addresses related to Starry Night Capital, a fund that was launched by the co-founders of 3AC. The collection move was part of the liquidator's duty of identifying assets and maximizing recoveries on behalf of all creditors. A report from Bloomberg estimated that Starry Night Capital's collection total value sits around $35 million, and but it only represents a tiny fraction of 3AC's debt of $3 billion to its creditors. So that's going to be sold off, and the proceeds are going to go help towards recovery for investors. Stay in Asia. We'll go to South Korea. South Korean judge has dismissed the warrant for individuals involved in Terra Luna collapse. Okay, so the warrant for Yu Mu, the head of the business team of Terraform Labs, has been dismissed less than 48 hours after it had been issued. On October 6th, a news report from South Korea's Yonhap news agency, Judge Hong Jin Pyo of the Seoul Southern District Court, said it was difficult to see the necessity and significance of arresting Yu. The prosecutor's office in the same jurisdiction reportedly issued a bench warrant for the Terraform Labs executive on the 5th of October for charges that included violating the Capital Markets Act and fraud by manipulating the price of Terra Luna, now Terra Luna Classic. The judge said that Yu had residence and family ties in South Korea and barred from leaving the country, but they have said no to the warrant. So while the rest of the team has a warrant, Mr. Yu has gotten off the hook here apparently. So move to the Middle East, and the stands have not been a happy place the past few decades. Kazakhstan grants Binance a permanent license to offer digital asset services. So the AIFC, Financial Services Authority in Kazakhstan, has granted Binance a permanent license to manage a digital asset platform and provide custody services in the country. After buildup of multiple memorandums of understanding (MOUs) and an initial in-principle approval to operate in Kazakhstan, Binance has received a permanent license to operate there. And the newly acquired license gives Binance official status as a regulated platform in the country. So the Asia regional head of Binance has announced, Gleb Kostarev said, this is just another step for Binance being a compliance focused exchange. That's cool. So, yeah, good luck and congratulations. So, I want to thank everybody for listening in this week to the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. I'm here every Friday and providing you a week of roundups of news and information that happened during the week. Some week there's lots of information globally, and some weeks, there's not. But hopefully, I touched on the major hitters, and I'll continue to do this show every Friday. And thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.